All right, shalom family, and welcome to our weekly Bible study. My name is Esaac ben Israel, and I'm the elder priest of the United Congregation of Israel, and I'm joined here by the under priest, Priest Kish. Shalom, my brother.
Shalom.
All right, so every now and then, we get questions, and we love to, get questions, but some questions really are good questions, and a lot of times it may seem like it's the simple ones, but sometimes you get questions that make you rethink, okay, this is how I feel about something, but I haven't thought about it in so long. I have to remember why I feel this way about this. And those are the really good ones that you have to go back and look at something, and you always have to look at it with an open mind, saying, okay, maybe Yahweh has given me a level of it, and he may be moving you up to another level. And Yahweh decides when those levels are. He may have you on one line of thinking for 10 years and then out of nowhere move you up. And it doesn't mean that, I need to erase the last 10 years. No, it means that when he got ready to move you up, this is the thought process that he's going to hold you accountable for. You're not going to be held accountable for the 10 years prior. You're going to be held accountable from the day that he brought that to you. And that may happen many different times in this walk. And we have to be able to make that step each time, that happens with us. So with that being said, you have to allow an open mind to be there whenever you get to certain questions. And one of the questions that I've gotten recently was, is Esau and Edom the Euro Gentile? And because sometimes you look at something and you've talked about it in the past. But then when you look at all of the things that are going on, you see that all of a sudden those things are very prevalent right now. That stuff is before your face, because every time you turn on the news, you can't even turn on the television. You sometimes not even watching the news, and it'll kick in and show you something else. So we're being inundated with all of these things that we might not even be trying to watch, but it's being presented unto us. So one of the first things that we have to deal with, if we're going to deal with the biblical part of who a group of people is, we're going to say, is this group, or is this that group? You have to be very careful about connecting the people to the place of where they are, because we don't consider the migrations of people when we do that, because you look at a area and you say, okay, this person is from Stone Mountain, is take the very area that we're in, Stone Mountain, Lithonia, Decatur. The migrations of people cause very different groups of people to live in that same place. So if you just take this place and back up 25 years, 30 years, then it doesn't look anything like what it looks like right now. And when we consider that, there's some areas that have had that happen time and time and time and time again. So it keeps changing as far as the demographics, but the place is still where the place is. So we have to keep that in mind. Just in the city of Atlanta, the demographics have changed multiple times, because you had in the beginning, there were no people of color in certain areas. Then people started coming in. They had the white flight. Everybody, all the Gentiles moved out. It became all black. Then they realized, oh my God, we ran away from premium real estate. Then they started coming back and started moving in those places one by one. And in some of those areas, they are all in the way that it used to be before. So we're talking about several different changes as far as demographics, but within the same zip code, if you will. So consider that whenever we're dealing with something. So to get an understanding of that, we're going to start at Genesis chapter 25. Genesis chapter 25, and let's start at verse 19.
And these are the generations of Esau, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Esau. And Esau was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel the Syrian of Paddan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Esau entreated Yahweh for his wife because she was barren. And Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh.
Yeah, you have to wonder, what kind of question was this? And the children struggled within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? If I ask you for this, you bless me with this, why am I having problems? You know, we automatically assume that if there are problems, then we must have done something wrong. So this is that kind of question. I must have done something wrong. Why? Why can't it just be the plan that Yahweh has for your life? This is the plan. It was always a part of the plan that you're going to come and ask. And when you ask, I'm going to give it to you. And it was always a part of the plan that what I give you going to struggle inside you. It was always part of the plan. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto her, Two nations are in your womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from your bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
Right. He didn't say at all, you know, you remember that thing you had did? See, you was in high school. You remember that time? No. This ain't nothing to do with that. No. You ask for, and Yahweh will move you to ask for something that he already want to give you. But you need to be moved to ask for it. Go ahead.
You know, when you look at this whole struggle, you got to really picture this. They're already fighting for supremacy from in the womb.
Yep. So that means they already have the spirit of who they are. In day zero. They already have a spirit of me against this guy. And let me tell you something, man. When you talk about twins, you look at how people operate with twins. Those twins are always together. They move everywhere together. These two are at one another constantly. So much it's making the mama sick. Go ahead.
When her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Now, we all have our vision and our version of what this looks like, because I've heard it many times over the years, what this must look like to be red all over and hairy like a garment. But so we take whatever we have and just sit it on the side for a moment as we start going into other things. Go ahead.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Esau was 80 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Esau loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
You ever wonder why? Why didn't it describe Jacob? Why didn't it describe? It automatically told you what one of them. He said he came out red all over like a hairy garment. Why was that important? And the other one wasn't. Well, he must look different then. So the other one must look like everybody else. Because it didn't even think, yeah, he don't need to describe it. I mean, it look like mom and daddy. So what does one look like? Why did he go out and say he came out red all over and hairy? It didn't say both of them came out like that. It said this one. And then it doesn't describe the other one. Why? So then now we have this thing in our head about red and hairy. And to this day, we'll call somebody light skin red. So we have to figure out, okay, what did they mean by red? Because they also call the Indian, they say he's a red man. Okay, so we have to figure out where we're going to put that. Because you will encounter a lot of teachings where they'll say that the Jews are Esau. And, you know, we'll put this one label on something and not consider, even in the very migrations that we were talking about before, about moving in and out of an area. Well, you know, as those migrations happen, sometimes some people from each migration stay in. Now you got a mix of things happening. And then those mix of people mix with one another. But we still have this one thought in our head as if it's going to completely stay like that for 5,000 years. So we have to have that thought process there. Let's go to Genesis chapter 26.
You know, elders, we go in there also, you got to think about the fact that they're brothers. And although one came out red as a garment, that don't mean that as he continues to have offspring that they cannot now look like the people they originally came from.
Exactly. We don't understand the whole part of a gene pool. It's not a gene sheet or a gene cup. It's not a gene spoon. It's a gene pool. Do you know how much is in a pool? When you talk about a pool, that person can reach down and grab a gene from 5 generations ago. And everybody trying to figure out, sitting there looking at the person, now he look just like this person. But where those eyes come from? You see, we're not understanding the whole part about the pool. See, all we think about is the spoon. The spoon is the mama and the daddy, maybe the brother, maybe uncle. See, them the only people we can fit in that spoon. Them the only ones we thinking about. We thinking about the gene spoon. But we have to think outside of that. That means attributes from people you may have never even seen. Okay. Genesis chapter 26. And I want you to start at verse 34.
And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Bashemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Esau and to Rebekah.
Wait a minute. They were not happy about the women that he chose to marry. Okay. Jump to chapter 28.
Where are we starting? What verse?
Go to start at verse 1.
And Esau called Jacob and blessed him, and charged him and said unto him, You shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Paddan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take you a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, that you may be a multitude of people. And give you the blessing of Abraham, and give you the blessing of Abraham to you, and to your seed with you, that you may inherit the land wherein you are a stranger, which Elohim gave unto Abraham. And Esau sent away Jacob, and he went to Paddan Aram unto Laban, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob, and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Esau had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Paddan Aram to take a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, You shall not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
So now he's listening to the instructions given unto the brother. Go ahead.
And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Paddan Aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Esau his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took on to the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebaioth, to be his wife.
Now, even if we deal with red all over and hairy like a garment, if we're dealing with Ishmael, Ishmael is the son of Abraham from who? Hagar, the Egyptian. But we still have in our head, everybody that we see on the news, and we're saying that these are those people. This is the beginning of, this family line. And even if this was a lighter skinned individual, automatically he is procreating with individuals of color. But our mind still tells us, because of other things that we read, then we automatically put that these people must be that. But we're going to go into some things and understand why we should look at that a different way. But even when you deal with who Esau is marrying, Esau is marrying because of what the mother and father has instituted for his brother. So then you automatically find there's a little bit of envy and jealousy there within this brother. So go ahead, bro.
We've discussed it many times. When you look at an albino does not go and marry another albino.
I just told somebody that. I asked the person, I said, you ever seen two albinos walking down the street holding hands?
They go get the darkest individual they can find.
Then you ain't never seen that. When you see a albino with somebody, they about as dark as a tablecloth.
And we would refer to albino as red.
Yeah,
red.
Right. But because in certain areas people were ostracized. So let's say that those albinos did end up ostracized and moved together. What would their offspring look like?
Lighter and lighter.
Now that's where things start to get interesting. Okay? But that's a different rabbit hole. Let's go to Genesis chapter 36. Now this is Esau and the wives that he has chosen. Genesis chapter 36 and start at verse 1.
Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom.
All right, so we're going to get into a little bit more understanding of the women. Go ahead.
Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan.
Now, if you just go right to Hittite or anything, then you don't get a background right away. But right when he says Canaan, now you have a clue. Go ahead.
Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nabiah.
Right, and we just read about those, but now understanding he took wives of the daughter of Canaan. So to understand what that must turn out like, we then have to get some understanding about Canaan. Let's go to Genesis chapter 10. Genesis chapter 10, and we're going to start at verse 6.
And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan.
Understand, Esau married a daughter of Canaan. Now let's back up. We're going to go in reverse then. So Canaan is a son, Phut is a son, Mizraim and Cush. Phut and Mizraim is Upper and Lower Egypt. Ancient Egypt, not the people in Egypt now. Cush is Ethiopia. Their father Ham, which means hot or burnt. Ham is burnt black. Esau married one of the daughters who come from the line of burnt black Ham. Sound like a meal. I know it. I know some of y'all used to eat burnt black ham. Look. So if we deal with that, what is this offspring turning into? But then when we turn on the news, we automatically see these individuals and then we put them in the place of Esau. But the question is, why are we putting them all in the place of Esau? We don't consider any migrations. We don't consider intermarrying. We're not considering any of that. And I think it's just easier to make that assumption. Now, and I understand, why. But at some point, we have to look at that a little different. So what we have to understand is that the news decides what it wants to show us. Like, people don't know that there are any people of color in Israel. Now, why? Because they purposely will not show you any of that in their programs. The same way the news does not show, it doesn't go to Europe and show you all the colored people in Europe. So the same way they want to display that is the same way when you come here and they talk about crime, they don't show you nobody but us. Mm-hmm. Because that's what the news wants you to think about us, nothing but crime. And then you get to jail if you go, and you're trying to figure out where all these Hispanics and Caucasians come from. Wait a minute, they got white supremacist gangs in jail? Wait a minute, how they get locked up? They're not ever on the news. That's not what they wanted to display. And you got to understand, them some really bad characters. As easy as it is for us to go to jail, you know how many things they had to do to have privilege and still go to jail? They did about 10 more things before they finally said, you know what, we tired of letting you out. They had extra chances. So understand, when you encounter one, you may be dealing with a very, very rough character because he has done that a few times. Privilege has just ran out, and now they have to do, that time. So don't get it twisted. So you have then Esau marrying and procreating between the descendants of Ham, the people who we would call Africans. Is that what we think of when we picture Esau and Edom in our head? We are still picturing red all over and hairy as a garment. We're talking about generation after generation after generation after generation after generation after generation. And in our mind, we still thinking red and hairy. So at some point, we have to put the other ingredients in here. And if you put all your ingredients to make a cake, but it's still flour, you didn't do something right. You didn't do something, or something didn't go right. So let's go into, we're going to back up then, because we have to then deal with, okay, who are these people that we keep seeing when we turn on the television? Because if that's not Esau, and you got to understand now, there are a mix of people. They're not going to show you all of those individuals within this circle. Because one thing, we know that the one group that the state, the nation, the state of Israel, that they could not deny were the Ethiopian Jews. The ones who were left captive in Ethiopia and then freed, who blended right in with the Ethiopians. Interesting that there would be authentic Jewish people who were able to blend in with the Ethiopians. They were then transferred to Israel in Operation Moses, right? You turn on the TV, you don't see any of those people. Now, where are all those people? And one of the other things that we have to consider, even though we are shown one group of people when we turn on the news, they have very sophisticated spy networks. And you have to ask yourself, if you're looking at the Palestinians, right? And they're doing covert operations inside Palestine. How do they have people who could be confused for Palestinians? They don't look nothing like Netanyahu. If anybody come up to them looking like that, you think they don't know who he is? So how are they able to run these operations then? That means in that mix, there's some individuals who look so much like those people that they are able to go undercover. Consider that. Now let's back up and let's go to Genesis chapter 10 and start at verse 1.
Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tiras.
So these are the Gentiles, but it's going to tell you that. Go ahead.
And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphtah, and Togarmah, and the sons of Jaban, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, everyone after his language, after their families, in their nations.
All right, so then within the sons of Japheth, we jump down to verse 3, the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz. 80% of the Jewish people in that land are Ashkenazi Jews. Now, if sometimes things are a blessing and you don't know it. Because if people understood that this was going to be read, you would think that people would have changed the name of who they were and not say Ashkenazi.
Mm-hmm.
But because they're reading from another book and getting deep belief in another book, people didn't really pay attention of what was in this one. But this should have been the one. This is the Torah. This is the book that everybody should have been in. So now you have Ashkenaz, but that's still a large portion of the people in the land. It's not everybody. But Ashkenaz is a Gentile. Ashkenaz cannot be Esau. Esau is the brother of Yaakov. What does that make Esau? Hebrew. What Esau is not is a Hebrew Israelite. We're going to get to that in a minute. Go ahead, bro.
That was it.
That was it?
You touched on what I was going to touch on.
Okay. Well, let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17. So you have this mix. This is why it can be dangerous for us to just, look at somebody and say, this is what they are. We don't know that. And then we still haven't dealt with, even if that's true, you don't know what sacrifices or, what that particular person has done first. But then even on top of that, you may have known that person your whole life and you say, I ain't seen them do nothing great. What you don't know is their parents did something great. And that earned them their ticket. See, Rahab was a harlot and she earned the ticket for her whole family. She didn't just earn the ticket for her. So sometimes people are earning a ticket. Just because you didn't see them earn it don't mean they don't have it. 2 Kings chapter 17 and start at verse 7.
Elder, I think what we've done is pick up a Western mindset, because you've got to think about those Europeans still all break themselves up in nations and they know who they are.
Yep.
And when you go to the continent, those people know who they are. They'll tell you what tribes they're from. But this Western mindset, we say, oh, they're black, and just throw everybody in.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Hispanic, throw everybody in. And they're Chinese, the man's Japanese. It don't matter.
Right.
We won't even say Asian, they Chinese.
You're right. You're right. I've been a little guilty myself. And you may be in a world of trouble. You go and call a Puerto Rican or Mexican or something like that, and I hope you got your bags packed. I hope you're ready to move, because you just say, okay, that's that. Wait a minute. You can't just throw all them. And that is the Western mindset where everybody's the same. But if you're in a New World Order type of mindset, don't you need for everybody to be the same? Don't you need to throw all of these people and at least give them the thought process that they're equal, even though you know that's not how you're going to deal with it? Mm-hmm. This is part of their game. Go ahead.
2 Kings 17.
Started out, 17, and start at verse 7.
For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against Yahweh their Elohim, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom Yahweh cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. And
walked in the statutes of the heathen. We still do it today. We have certain understanding, and then we don't falter because we didn't have understanding. Our faults come because we just saw something else that we liked and merged it in with what we already do. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against Yahweh their Elohim, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom Yahweh carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke Yahweh to anger. For they served idols, wherefore Yahweh had said unto them, you shall not do this thing. Yet Yahweh testified against Israel and against Yehudah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn you from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all that law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in Yahweh their Elohim. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahweh had charged them that they should not do like them.
Jump to verse 20.
And Yahweh rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight.
This is not just a thing. This is exactly what Yahweh does to the children of Israel over and over and over again. The book of Judges is a complete 430-year period of nothing but captivity. So when Israel decides to walk away from Yahweh, we end up in slavery. And people keep, asking, why did God make us slaves? We don't understand the purpose of our creation. We were created to be his servant. So we're going to serve one way or another. So when we don't serve him, we end up having to serve our enemies. Then we pick up the ways of our enemies and then bring them back to serve him with the stuff we picked up from our enemies. Go ahead.
For he rent Israel from the house of Dawid, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following Yahweh, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam which he did, they departed not from them, until Yahweh removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
All right, now understand, when the persecution comes, these people are not the ones who are being persecuted. These are people who are brought here. Okay? These are other nations. Now, we still have in our head, we got one face of people. We got red all over and hairy like a garment. Now, we got all these people moving in, but we got one thing in our head, and we will not let go of this red and hairy. We have not let go. Now, all these things coming into the mix. Now, by the time of the Messiah, you got Herod coming in and marrying a Jewish woman so he can be Jewish through the woman. But in our mind, we're still stuck in red all over and hairy like a garment. So then we'll look at somebody and say, you know what, you ain't hairy enough. You can't be there. So that's we still trying to make just those attributes. Now, as you go to mixing, and it's just and when we say that, understand just procreation in itself. Go to your family reunion. Whether those people have mixed with anybody, they all the same color. Do everybody look alike? You ever went to a family reunion and seen 100 people and every last one of them look alike to the point where you can't tell who they are? So if the gene pool is that intricate, how is it that we still have the one description and we play it over and over again for thousands of years? Go ahead.
So Dawid was described as being ruddy, which is red. So we gonna put him on that side, or don't we continue to claim him as one of our own?
Hey, it's interesting. That's why I say, what version of red do you have in your head? Like I said, the Indian will call the red man. When you look at that brown and realize it got red in it, how you make brown? Ain't nobody ever had a coloring book with them. Yeah, put them colors together and figure out yellow and blue make green. Okay. Well, we have to start asking ourselves, how you get certain colors? What did you have to mix together to get that? Go ahead.
And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, The nations which you have removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the Elohim of the land. Therefore he has sent lions among them. And, behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the El of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, Carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence.
So go get one of the priests that you took out of there. Go take him back. And then, go ahead.
And let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the El of the land.
Let them teach the culture of the land. So now you have all of these mixed group of individuals who not only now live in the land, but they now practice the culture. They will then give birth to offspring who will be born knowing the culture. But they're not Israel. Go ahead.
You know, I bring this up every time we go to this. He says he sent lions among them. Lions is only native to one place.
You got it. Where you get them lions from? Same place the Gentile got them to go and sick them on up. Right. Correct?
Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear Yahweh. Howbeit, every nation made gods of their own.
Now, they have the ability to do this. Why? Because the covenant was not made with this group of people. The covenant was made with the group of people who were taken out. They were not allowed to worship Yahweh and other gods without punishment. But these people are not the people of the covenant. They get to worship on the surface Yahweh and still worship the other gods. Now that's interesting. So they can pose as Israel while really being worshipers of something else. This is what it says. And he allowed it. Why? Because they're not the people of the covenant. Only the ones who receive the covenant are bound like that. He said, I ain't gonna worry about that. I mean, I didn't make no promise with those people. Go ahead.
And put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their own cities wherein they dwelt. And the men of Babylon made Succoth-Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima, and the Ivites made Nibhaz and Tartak.
So wait a minute now. You got a manner of different gods in the Holy Land while presenting the face of Judaism. Isn't that peculiar? Go ahead.
And the Sepharvites burnt their children in the fire to Adramelech and Anamelech, the gods of Sepharvaim.
So wait a minute. Then, so now we're talking about they have bona fide child sacrifice. Now, I don't know if you want to go and do some research and find out what they say about a lot of child sacrifice type things that go around in certain circles. You do that research on your own. It's rather interesting because these are all different groups who worshipped something else, but then took on the front of the worship of the Jews. And Yahweh allowed it. Go ahead.
You know, let's not, you touched on the Ashkenazi Jews. Remember, they used to mention the Sephardic Jews too.
Yes, they did. And we're going, we're about to get to it in a second. Go ahead.
So they feared Yahweh and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places.
Wait. Come on, man. Come on. The lowest of them, they got the lowest priests of the Most High. What? They got the lowest priests of the high. What? Hey man, Yahweh got jokes.
The lowest of them priests of the high places. Low priests and high places.
So they gonna be, but they gonna talk about the Most High in high places, but they low priests. And he has allowed them because he didn't make a covenant with them. Go ahead.
Which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared Yahweh and served their own gods.
They feared Yahweh and the very thing that the people of the covenant were not allowed to do. The people of the covenant were not allowed to do this. When they do this, they go into captivity. See, a lot of times when we get punished for doing something, we feel like so bad, like, God has frowned on me. I can't believe I'm getting in trouble for this, and I got to go to school, and everybody at school does this. We don't feel like loved, peculiar. We feel singled out, and we don't like it. We say we want to be special, but we like, I don't like the way special feel. I want to be extra regular. I don't want to be extraordinary. How about extra regular, please? Because we want to be able to do something and not suffer any consequences for it. But being the ones that covenant was made with carries power, but it also carries some repercussions when it comes down to your actions. Go ahead.
After the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence. Unto this day they do after the former manners.
Now, it's interesting, unto this day. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. They have been allowed to operate this way for some time. They live in the land. There are different groups of people. Do we assume that every last one of those groups of people look the same? But they're all residing in this place. They have the culture. But guess what they are not? They are not only not Jews. They're also not Edom. Wait a minute. They're not Esau either. Wait a minute. We got a whole lot of stuff going on right here. They're not Edom. They're not Esau. They're not Jews. Well, they're Jews. So where are we putting all of this? How are we visualizing all of the many aspects of what's happening right here? Now, do we still have that thing, in our mind? Because we want to take one thing and we want to use it as a common denominator and we want to sit there. Do you still have Red and Harry? And this is what you're picturing, but we have all of these things happening here. Now, keep in mind, the Gentiles ain't invaded yet. The latter Gentiles. Now we still got the Muslims who gonna come and take over, and then you got the Gentiles after that. They're not even in this mix yet. See, I'm just stirring this with a spoon. I got the KitchenAid back here in the back. I ain't pulled it out. This is just spoon mixing right here. All right. So this spoon mixing, and we still got the image of Red and Harry, but the spoon is already tearing this up. Now what's gonna happen when I bring this KitchenAid in there? Go ahead.
They fear not Yahweh, neither do they after their statutes or after their ordinances.
Check that out. Wait a minute. They show fear to Yahweh, but they do all manner of other things in the background. So when Yahweh can say the synagogue of Satan, wait a minute, he knows exactly what he's talking about. Wait a minute, I was there. I'll let you do this stuff. Because I was punishing my people. So I let you do that. So I know what's there. Because I know what you worshiped before you came here, and I know what you brought here. Go ahead.
Or after the law and commandment which Yahweh commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel, with whom Yahweh had made a covenant and charged them.
Wait a minute. See, now we're getting back to the covenant. See, it's a different level of responsibility when you're dealing with the covenant. The people of the covenant have a higher responsibility, which means they're going to be punished more. They're going to be punished more rigorously. We get to the New Testament, it says to the Jew first, then to the Gentile. Tribulation and anguish. So we have to keep that into consideration. Now you mentioned the Sephardic Jews. I want to read something. It says, Sephardic Jews originate from the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, and Portugal, with the term Sephardic deriving from Hebrew word for Spain, Sepharad. Following their expulsion from Spain in 1492, many Sephardic Jews settled in other parts of the world, including North Africa, the Middle East, which ain't no such thing, Europe, such as the Ottoman Empire and the Netherlands, and the Americas. Now that's rather interesting. That is rather interesting. Now, when we deal with these Sephardic Jews, wait a minute. Now, we're talking about now 1492 is a really interesting number. Really interesting date. Because a lot of things start happening now. We start getting some what's the word I'm looking for? Slavery. All right, so we getting some real interesting things. Now, why are they expelled? That's peculiar. Okay, and what do these people look like who are expelled? Now, even with the children of Israel who have gone to Spain and taken over some things for a good number of years, guess what? They also mingled and procreated with the Spaniards. Now, you got another group of Jews who look different. Now, do we still have Red and Harry? Now, we still got Harry Red. But we got all this mixing. Now, but wait, we ain't even got the KitchenAid about to come out. We still spoon spinning right now. We're still spoon spinning. Now, when the Gentiles come in, oh, you can have all manner of things now. And we still have that same. It's like that image that they've given us of Jesus. Even when we come to the truth, you know, most of us still want to see that image. And we say we don't, but we close our eyes, and here he gone right here. He right there. He right there. You like, bring it on in, Jesus. You're like, wait a minute, I know that ain't your name, but come on in. Black Jesus. Come on in. So all you do is you color him, but he got the same perm. He got the same little wide hands. All of that. What happened? It's in here. So then, because we have been inundated with these images, we take the same thought process and put it in other places. And then we're stuck with this image. Why do you think he says, there shall be no image or form where they will respect him? He won't look attractive to the people. Why? Because they have an image in their head of what he's supposed to look like. And when he does not look like that, a lot of people are going to be disappointed. Go ahead.
You know, if we continue to keep this thing on the lines of color, on the day of separation, a lot of people are going to be disappointed because, you know, I've often said it, we got people that look like you and I that's going to find out that Master was their great-great-great-great-granddaddy.
Right.
Esau was listening to a thing last night where they were interviewing the last couple of people that went through slavery. And one of them was saying that when Master's kids used to come over, they say, we call him daddy just like you call him daddy. When he come to visit us, he buy us stuff just like you. So they knew that was their daddy.
Right.
Now they pushing it in the face of the kids who live in the house and say, nah, that's our daddy too. Yeah. We call him daddy when he come over and visit us.
Mm-hmm. That's why some of them got mistreated so bad, because the folks start figuring out, wait a minute, why you look like my daddy? Wait a minute. He be coming over here all the time. Yeah. They figured it out. So let's on the line of that, let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 26. because one of the things that, you always hear, especially within the racist circles about, black people were cursed black. But what we don't, consider is the times of, first of all, in this book, you don't find anybody who was cursed black, but you do find people who were cursed white. Now, the issue is, how does that change their lineage? That only changed how they look. It didn't change who they were. That's interesting. Okay, so let's go. I tell you what, start at verse 1, and then we're going to jump down.
Then all the people of Judea took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in the room of his father Amaziah.
All right, so this is a Judite. He is a king. He's been made king, and he got a little power, and he's a young boy. Jump down to verse 16. So we know who he is, where he comes from. Go ahead.
But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction.
Right. This is how we do. All you got to do is give us a car and a little bit of money left over after we pay the bills, and you can't tell us jack. That's all you got to give us. Give us a car. Get us off the bus, Gus. Just get us off the bus, Gus. Watch our egos soar. I mean, it's going to be like one of them doggone X-rockets. But it's going to explode just like one of those X-rockets. Go ahead.
For he transgressed against Yahweh his Elohim, and went into the temple of Yahweh to burn incense upon the altar of incense.
Now he lifted up because, he got some stuff. He done did some things. Go ahead.
And Azariah the priest went in after him, and with him 80 priests of Yahweh that were valiant men. Mm-hmm. And they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, It appertaineth not unto you,
This
Uzziah,
ain't your job. Go ahead.
to burn incense unto Yahweh, but to the priests, the sons of Aaron, that are consecrated to burn incense. Go out of the sanctuary, for you have trespassed, neither shall it be for your honor from Yahweh Elohim. Then Uzziah was angry, and had a censer in his hand to burn incense.
He is angry. He feels like he has authority that he does not have. Go ahead.
And while he was angry with the priest, the leprosy even rose up in his forehead before the priest in the house of Yahweh from beside the incense altar. And Azariah the chief priest and all the priests looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead. And they thrust him out from thence. Yea, himself hasted also to go out, because Yahweh had smitten him.
Now, he couldn't move because of his pride. The people are withstanding him, but they also know he's a king. Then Yahweh makes something happen that takes the decision away from everybody. Once they see the leprosy, he has to get out of the sanctuary immediately. There's no more discussion. Go ahead.
And Uzziah the king was a leper unto the day of his death, and dwelt in a several house, being a leper, for he was cut off from the house of Yahweh. And Jotham his son was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah, first and last, did Esaias the prophet, the son of Amoz, write. So Uzziah slept with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in the field of the burial which belonged to the kings. For they said, he's a leper, and Jotham his son reigned in his stead.
All right, so then we're now looking at a person from the tribe of Judah who died completely white. Now, let's go to Exodus chapter 4. And start at verse 1, and then we're going to jump down.
And Moshe answered and said, But, behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, Yahweh has not appeared unto you. And Yahweh said unto him, What is that in your hand? And he said, A rod.
Wait a minute. I want you to think about something now. It says, Moshe said they will not believe me. You know what I'm saying? Saying, Yahweh ain't talk to you. So Yahweh said, all right, look, I show you right. Do these things. How is it nowadays we can let anybody say, I spoke to the Lord last night. All right, well, show me something. Show me something. I tell you what, throw down your staff. What you going to do? I mean, give us something prophetic that's going to happen, for the nation. I mean, don't tell me like you're going to buy a blue car. I mean, you've been saving up to buy a blue car. That's not prophecy. Tell us something you're not in control of. He says they're not going to believe me. He said, all right, so I'm going to give you something to make them believe you. Now jump down to verse 6.
And Yahweh said furthermore unto him, put now your hand into your bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. And he said, put your hand into your bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
It turned again as his other flesh. So whatever it was, it turned back to whatever that is. All right, so let's go to 2 Kings chapter 5.
I mean, even when you look at this, it gives us a description of what leprosy looks like. It says leprous as snow.
Right. So then, as we go to 2 Kings chapter 5, right here we have a situation where a person is healed, but then you have to look at, what comes out of this. All right. Start at verse 15. Now, the servant of Yahweh is not trying to charge the individual, but then there's a servant of the servant who decides that, hey, look, these folk got some money and we need to get some of it. And you're not going to get it out there. I need to get it for myself. Because, I'm worth it. Go ahead.
And he returned to the man of Elohim, he and all his company, and came and stood before him. And he said, behold now, I know that there is no El in all the earth, but in Israel. Now therefore, I pray you, take a blessing of your servant. But he said, as Yahweh lives, before whom I stand, I will receive none. And he urged him to take it, but he refused.
He said, as Yahweh lives, before whom I stand, I will take none. Now, here's how things get interesting. Because you look at how stiff this punishment is, but you have to understand what's happening. If he says before Yahweh, I will take none, and then the servant takes it, then that's accounted as he took it. Okay, keep reading.
And Naaman said, shall there not then, I pray you, be given to your servant 2 mules, burden of the earth? For your servant will henceforth offer neither burnt offering nor sacrifice unto other gods, but unto Yahweh. In this thing Yahweh pardon your servant, that when my master goes into the house of Ramon to worship there, and he leans on my hand, and I bow myself in the house of Ramon.
Because it's my job. Go ahead.
When I bow down myself in the house of Ramon, Yahweh pardon your servant in this thing.
Right. Do we even think about it like that? We go to work and try to evangelize everybody there. We in the break room. You heard of Yahshua? Hey, man. Man, do your job, man. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, go in peace. So he departed from him a little way. But Gehazi, the servant of Elisha, the man of Elohim, said, behold, my master has spared Naaman this Syrian, in not receiving at his hands that which he brought.
Now, he believes he is due for something he didn't do. Go ahead.
But as Yahweh lives, I'll run after him and take somewhat of him.
Everybody keep throwing Yahweh's name in it. Yahweh, I'm the only one who ain't said nothing. Everybody keep mentioning my name. Go ahead.
So Gehazi followed after Naaman. And when Naaman saw him running after him, he lighted down from the chariot to meet him and said, is all well? And he said, all is well. My master has sent me.
Stop. He got it in his name. So then the duty to deal with this is in the name that he got it in. Go ahead.
My master has sent me, saying, behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets, Give them, I pray you, a talent of silver and 2 changes of garments. And Naaman said, Be content, take 2 talents. And he urged him, and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags, with 2 changes of garments, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him. And when he came to the tower, he took them from their hand, and bestowed them in the house. And he let the men go, and they departed.
Now, if he worked for this other servant, now when you get stuff you ain't supposed to get, you can't just wear it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when you don't. Now I'm just saying, like somebody had went, to South Lake Mall one time, and they had got some shoes that they didn't pay for. All right, so then they had these shoes in their closet, right? From South Lake Mall, right? But that person, mama, know they ain't got no job, right? So even though these are some fly kicks, right? They can't wear these kicks around their mama, or they gonna get kicked. So they have to have these said shoes. Feelers was really big back then, all right? But they have to hide these shoes, right? And then they have to pull them out, wear them, but then put them back in. So they got to travel with 2 pairs of shoes because they can't go home with these. Just a story I heard one time. Go ahead, bro.
Even if you look at this situation, he got so much stuff that he couldn't carry it by himself. 2 other servants had to take it, and then to a point, then he took it and go hide it when he closed enough to the house.
It's just all in vain. Go ahead.
But he went in and stood before his master. And Elisha
went right back in with it. I ain't begot no weapon. I ain't did nothing. How you doing here? Go ahead.
And Elisha said unto him, Whence cometh you, Gehazi?
You see that? That's one. Okay. What you mean, friend? What you mean, friend? Okay, go ahead.
And he said, Your servant went no whither.
Ain't nobody need nothing. What are you talking about? Why you accusing me? Go ahead.
And he said unto him, Went not my heart with you when the man turned again from his chariot to meet you? Is it a time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maid servants? The leprosy therefore of Naaman shall cleave unto you and unto your seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper as white as snow.
Now, he's a leper as white as snow. But listen, it says, it shall cleave unto you and unto your seed. Wait a minute. His ethnicity didn't change, just how he looks. Oh boy, this spoon getting bigger. This spoon getting bigger. Wait a minute now. Now, how are we going to process this? How are we going to process this individual who every bit of his offspring is going to be leprous as snow, but his ethnicity does not change? He still is who he is, but he also looks how he looks. Do you then tell him what he ain't because of how he look? Good, brother. You got something?
You mentioned something earlier about, he got it in his master's name because he said, my master has sent me, right? And then Elisha turned around and said, Went not my heart with you?
Went not my heart.
Hey, bro, you called my name.
You called my name. You got this in my name. See, people don't think that they're going to be held responsible for the things that they got in somebody else's name. See, what they do is try to disguise it. But Yahweh know where you got it from. Yahweh know where you learned something from. Yahweh know where you got your certain things that you use to talk to people. He know where you got it from. He going to hold you accountable. Whether you give that individual the credit or not, Yahweh going to take that credit. He going to make you pay for it. He went and got it in his name, not understanding, you done put all power in his hand. You used him to get it. Okay, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Because this is one of the things right here that you say all the time. So let me go. Let's start at verse 1 so we can get who's talking.
Would Elohim, you could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me.
All right, and it says Saul and the false apostles. Go ahead.
For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to the Mashiach. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Yahshua. For if he that comes preaches not another Yahshua, whom we have not preached, or if you receive another spirit, which you have not received, or another gospel, which you have not accepted, you might well bear with him. For I suppose I was not a whit behind the very chiefest apostle, but though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things.
All right, jump to verse 16.
I say again, let no man think me a fool. If otherwise, yet as a fool receive me, that I may boast myself a little. That which I speak it not after the Adonai, but as it were foolishly, in this confidence of boasting. Seeing that many glory after the flesh, I will glory also. For you suffer fools gladly, seeing you yourselves are wise.
He says, seeing many glory after the flesh, I will glory also. They done agitated him. All right, go ahead.
For you suffer. If a man brings you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take of you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face. I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit, wheresoever any is bold, I speak foolishly. I'm bold also.
All right, so now in his boldness, he said, all right, this boldness, this is how Yahweh will push you to deal with something. This wouldn't have never even been in here if he hadn't been agitated. So you have to understand that some of your agitation comes directly from the Most High. But you still, man, I can't believe this knuckle gonna run up on me like that. Yeah, Yahweh told him to. Go over there and punch him in his face. It's going to be good. Moses, bring this popcorn. It's about to go down over here. Why? Because I told him to punch him in his face. Okay. Why? Because that's going to make something happen with him. See? We all want to believe that we will do all of these great works without anything happening unto us. But sometimes we need to get hit with some adversity for us to really produce some really great things. Go ahead.
Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I.
Wait a minute. Now he done went somewhere now. So while we got this big spoon in Jerusalem and we have all these people, wait a minute, you don't understand how deep what he just said. Are they Hebrews? Are they Israelites? This is something our preacher kids used to say all the time. Esau a Hebrew, he just ain't no Israelite. Now, you don't understand what he just said. Mm-hmm. He said, are they Hebrews? So that's a whole group of people that can say, yeah. Then he said, are they Israelite? Then the other group got to say, no. They're Hebrew, they're just not Israelite. Why do you think they hate that term so much? Wait a minute. There are people who are Jews, but they're not Hebrew Israelites. Why do you think they attack the term? The term says this is my lineage. You just said this is what I chose to be. Okay? You can be a Jew without being a Hebrew Israelite. This is why they attack that term and have made the term derogatory. No, he's making a statement of his lineage, his ethnicity, his background of his people. No, everybody can't do that. Just even a person who becomes a proselyte and converts, they ain't no Hebrew Israelite. They can be a Jew, but they can't be no Hebrew Israelites. No. He said something right there. And this is New Testament. And if he wasn't agitated, he would not have said it. So this agitation was of the spirit. People always think, well, I'm going to follow the spirit. So they think it's a bunch of happy people. The spirit sometimes needs to agitate you so you can do something that you would not ordinarily do. But will you give the spirit credit for it, or does the devil get credit for that? Okay. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. All right. Now let's go to Esther chapter 8. We'll start at verse 1 so we understand what's happening.
On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house to Haman the Jew, enemy unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet, and besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Yehudims.
Now, what he was going to do, he said, look, I want all these people killed. What happens? Now, the main person he trying to get killed is now over him. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now, Esther, or Hadassah as she was born, is married unto the king. Now, here's where it gets interesting. All right, she's married to the king, but she just told him she was a Jew. Wait a minute. So what she look like that he didn't know she was a Jew? Well, I tell you, keep stirring this pot, but that spoon get bigger. Why? There's that spoon get big. Why? They don't know she a Jew. Wait a minute. You mean tell me he got pillow talk? He having pillow talk with somebody he don't even know she a Jew? Wait a minute. So what she look like? So what she looked like didn't change who she was. So all up until this point, she hadn't told them what she was. Now she says, this is what I am. This is what he is. I am the same as him. Now, they knew Mordecai was a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't know Esther was a Jew. Now how we do this? So are we still going to go by this one thing here? Because you got people who living in this, and they can't tell what she is. All right, keep reading.
Then the king held out the golden scepter toward Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king, and said, if it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the thing seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to reverse the letters devised by Haman the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Yehudims which are in all the king's provinces. For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come unto my people?
Unto who people?
Her people.
Okay.
Or how can I endure to see the destruction of my kindred?
Now understand, when Mordecai came to her, he said, don't think you shall be saved because you were in the house of the king. Because who knows whether or not you were raised up for this purpose at this time. And if you decide not to stand, then deliverance will come from somewhere else. But you shall be destroyed because you have the power to do it. And Yahweh made sure that you was in a position to take care of his people. Now take care of that business. Go ahead.
Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Yehudim, behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hands upon the Yehudims. Write you also for the Yehudims, as it likes you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name, and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse.
So the king's ring is a signet. You take the ring, put ink on it, press it on the paper. That is what we call our county seal. When you go to the courthouse and you get the seal, you're getting the king's ring. Put the ink, pow, put it on the paper, it's sealed. Okay, go ahead.
Then were the king's scribes called at that time in the 3rd month, that is, the month Sivan, on the 23rd day thereof. And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded unto the Yehudis, and to the lieutenants and the deputies and rulers of the provinces which are from India unto Ethiopia.
Wait a minute, there's a lot of people there. So he's got all this power. Now understand, when they got power, they move people to keep their kingdom running in harmony. Sometimes they take the people from this area and put them in this area, and take the people from this area and put them in this area. Now, that KitchenAid mixer starting to come out now, and we mixing. We mixing now. But we still only got one image. And we're trying to put that one image on all of these various individuals. All right, now, let's make it even more interesting. Jump down to verse 17.
And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Yehudim had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day.
Now, everybody watch it. Go ahead.
And many of the people of the land became Yehudim.
I'm sorry, what they do?
Many of them became Yehudim.
Wait a minute now. So now, wait a minute, many of the people of the land became Jews. Well, now we got Jews everywhere. We got every kind of Jew. We got the tall ones, we got the short ones, we got light skin, we got dark skin, we got the round ones, we got the skinny ones, we got all kind of them. Wait a minute. We done pulled out the KitchenAid mixer. We got everything. And they Jew. But they not Hebrew Israelite. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. So what we talking about? See, we got to understand what we talking about. We talking about Jew, we talking about Hebrew Israelite. What are we talking about? Go ahead.
Now it makes sense why up to this day a set of people will say they're Jews. We don't hear nothing about any other tribes, Jews, and we don't hear nothing about Hebrew Israelites.
Not
Only one set of people call themselves Hebrew Israelites.
You ain't never heard a brother just walk up here, I'm Naphtali. What? You what? Only Jew. The people became Jew. But Hebrew Israelite says something about your ethnicity. Now, we got a lot of things going on right here. Interesting. Go ahead.
I just want to finish this last part. For the fear of the Yehudis fell upon them.
Right.
Why we got so many Muslims nowadays? Because the fear of the Muslims fell upon them.
Right.
During the Arabic slave trade.
You got it. You got it. Everywhere I go, some brother in the street telling me, Assalamu alaikum. Everywhere I go, they automatically see the kufi. And they automatically think. Now, if it's a Muslim, then I'm, hey, shalom. No thing. The issue is, it'd be like a hood brother named Pookie. Like, Pookie, why are you saying this? Because if you're supposed to be that, I'm looking at you. You don't look like you dealing with that. But no. These brothers who done been to jail. You understand? And they got fear of those brothers. So then automatically, when they think that's what I am, they come to me with a certain amount of respect. That's not what I am. But I know where you got that fear from. Okay? Because them brothers strong in there. And them brothers keep their culture and stick together. They're not playing none of them games. Okay? All right. Let's go to Luke chapter 21. Because being that we see and we know about the things of Esau, we automatically put that upon these people in the land. And where we're making that mistake is we're assuming that one thing without considering some other things. So let's go. Start at verse 20. Luke 21 and verse 20.
And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is near. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. Let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
Wait a minute. Now, when we start looking at these people led away captive unto all nations, now this is where things all of a sudden turn back black. Now we go back to black. You want to deal with a certain thing. Now you go back. Because all of these people, we got these folks that put out their tribal chart. Yeah, when we start looking at captivity, we don't see them people that's in that tribal chart in them chains. Now, why we don't see no chain people a part of that fake tribal chart that they got floating around? They said this group of people is this group of people is that. All right, where the chains at? Go ahead.
I mean, even with that, of the legacy that's being claimed, we understand now many people in the land became Jews. But when it comes to the evidence of slavery, it's not there.
Right.
Once again, listening to some things of people who were in slavery, hey man, I had to say, can you back that up? Can I listen to that again? There's a part where one of the brothers says, we were moved by the sound of the ram's horn. So coming here, slaves got, I wouldn't say used to, because it's something they're already used to.
Yeah.
They were moved on the plantation by the sound, and he said the ram's horn.
Yep. That's interesting, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You always got jokes. But sometimes they don't be funny. You be like, Yahweh, don't do that. Yahweh, don't do that.
So in your punishment, I'm still
he's still cracking jokes. Yahweh, no, we're not in the laughing mood right now. Please don't do that. Go ahead.
And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Wait a minute. He didn't say the time that Esau be fulfilled. So while we're looking and trying to look for Edom and Esau, wait a minute. Whose time is it to rule? It's a Gentile time to rule. So why are we looking in Jerusalem and trying to find Edom? Why are we doing that? He says that until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. He the only one that's saying it. Matter of fact, he's repeating the prophets that they have a specified time to rule. Now, if these people just so happen to align with other individuals and take part in their rule, then so be it. But the rulership belongs to the Gentile. Go back, Gentiles, Japheth. Japheth, come down, Ashkenazi, Gentile. So then, when the Gentile, even though he says he became a Jew, he still rules under the power of a Gentile. Because that's what he is. Even though he became a Jew, his ethnicity did not change. Okay. Let's go to Romans chapter 11. Start at verse 11.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? Elohim forbid. But rather through their fall, salvation has come unto the Gentiles.
Wait a minute. Salvation has come to Esau? Wait a minute. That's not what... See, we are taking some things and merging them together. Israel has stumbled so that the Gentiles will stand. Wait a minute. This is also during the time of the Gentile rule. It fits. Go ahead.
For to provoke them to jealousy. Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
Now, so the Hebrew Israelite who says, I am a Hebrew, I am an Israelite, also says that he is the teacher of the Gentiles. He says, I'm an apostle. I magnify mine office. Go ahead.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world.
Casting away of who? Them. Israel. Go ahead.
What shall the receiving of them be, but life from the dead? For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. And if some of the branches be broken off, and you, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partaketh of the root and fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches. But if you boast, you beareth not the root, but the root you.
Wait a minute. There's an opportunity for these individuals to be grafted into this tree, but not if they do it in the wrong manner. Not if they do it in a boastful way. Not if they do it and not respect the actual order. Interesting. Go ahead.
You will say then, the branches were broken off, that I may be grafted in. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off, and you stand by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. For if Elohim spared not the natural branches, take heed, lest he also spare not you. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Elohim, on them which fell, severity, but toward you, goodness, if you continue in his goodness.
If you continue in his goodness. See, we just say, he's going to give me goodness. Well, if you continue in the goodness. See, we want the goodness even if we don't continue in it. We walk away from the Spirit and think that we took the Spirit with us. Go ahead.
Otherwise, you also shall be cut off. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in. For Elohim is able to graft them in again. For if you were cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?
Wait a minute. So this tree then already been mingled and mixed. Wait a minute, this is a mixed tree? You mean the tree got one root, but then other branches? But we still think along one set of lines when we're dealing with things. All right, keep reading.
For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery.
Don't be ignorant of this mystery. Go ahead.
Lest you should be wise in your own conceits.
Lest you should be wise in your own conceits. Go ahead.
That blindness in part is happened to Israel.
Israel going to be blind for a portion of time. Go ahead.
Until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
Wait a minute. Not the fullness of Esau. Not the fullness of Edom. Fullness of the Gentiles. This is the time of the Gentile rule. So why are we looking in Israel expecting to see Esau ruling on top? Now, Yahweh says some things. You should not have gone into my land. When they were persecuted, you were even as one of them. That's in the book of Obadiah.
I'm talking Esau.
Esau. Talking about Esau. But why are we looking and expecting to see Esau during the rule of the Gentiles? Go ahead.
You went somewhere there very interesting, because what you just touched on is his anger with Esau. He said Esau was going to get cut off in the end, right? But he didn't say the Gentiles was going to get cut off.
He did not.
So people going to be mad whenever.
People going to be mad because they're going to be, why are you here? You're supposed to be cut off. No, that's not Esau. Well, that's what they said on the tribal chart. Right. See, so we're already getting some things going. No, so we're looking. These are the people. What did Daniel say? Daniel was the one that said how long they were going to rule. But because of how much we hear from other areas and the people who we respect, we are looking at this one thing. Excuse me. And in the grand scheme of things, there's some things that really don't matter that much. They are not salvation issues. But we make non-salvation issues, all of a sudden, it's a salvation issue. It is not a salvation issue. It may be a knowledge thing that we may feel good that we know. But at the end of the day, it ain't going to get you to the kingdom or out of the kingdom. Mm-hmm. Make sure we understand that. If you right or you wrong, it still is not going to get you out of the kingdom. And this is the things that you understand when you get a family. Sometimes when people haven't gotten a family, they haven't realized that there's a bowl of stuff that you say, you know what, I don't give a damn what's going in that bowl. If you one of them people, you care about everything, you want to know how everything go, everything got to be pinpoint, this, it's got to be that. You probably either haven't started a family or you ain't been in it long. Because sooner or later you're going to get to some stuff that may cause some knockdown, drag out argument in your house. And at some point you're going to realize, you know what? I really don't give a damn. Let me tell you something. It ain't going to change what we do in this house as far as what direction we going. It ain't going to stop nothing from what we're supposed to be getting. You know what? This is just superficial. Matter of fact, I'm sorry I argued with you. Get two of them, baby. Get two of them. Get two of them. I had no business arguing with you. Get two. Get two. That's not a salvation issue. Get two. Then you start looking at this book. There's a whole lot of things that we may want to know. But at the end of the day, guess what? They are not salvation issues. Yahshua ain't coming to you and saying, you know what? Hey, the way you went and saved those people, man, that was good stuff. But man, I tell you what, man, the way you mix that polyester with that cotton, I think I'm going to have to go ahead and cut you off. You go into the lake of fire. What? Because I didn't have to pure linen. Now, never mind you say them people. But that polyester, hell no. You out of here, Jack. Come on, man. This ain't the kind of God we serve. This is not the kind of God we serve. So make sure that we, even when we're dealing with things, make sure we put it on the tier scale of what it is. If it's not a salvation issue, that don't mean you don't have it. That don't mean you don't question. Just don't let whatever the outcome is draw you to the left or the right, because it's not a salvation issue. So as long as we know that, we can engage in anything when it comes down to it. Go to Isaiah chapter 66. Isaiah 66, and let's start at verse 15.
For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh.
Now why he got to even say that? If Israel has a dietary law, right? Why he gonna say that somebody sanctify themselves behind one tree and then go behind another tree and eat a mouse or the abomination? No, but they got pork chop in their mouth. Because you got them people that say they got holy pork. They say they got kosher pork. They done cleansed the pork chop. They prayed over the pig. They prayed over his hoofs. They prayed over the tail. That is holy pig feet. But keep in mind, wait a minute. We got a big mix of people who became Jews. They brought all their habits with them. So he has to go ahead and differentiate between, hey, now let's go ahead and take care of this business. I don't care what you call yourself. How do you walk? Are you at least trying to keep my culture? Everybody sins, everybody falls. There's not one of us that's going to walk perfect without falling. Go ahead.
And the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, says Yahweh. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. And I'll set a sign among them, and will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Spain, to Pul and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Yavan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory. And they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles.
They shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. Go ahead.
And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto Yahweh out of all nations upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, says Yahweh, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel unto the house of Yah.
Now wait a minute. All these Israelites, these Hebrew Israelites, are coming from all over the world. You don't expect all of them to look the same, do you? Go ahead.
And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, says Yahweh.
All right. So just make sure that, when we look at these things, that we don't have a lot of these thoughts, because we will limit Yahweh our Elohim in thinking some things. Because, hey, it's stone cold Africans that were lepers. You have to, and it'll throw you off. You'll see somebody that's albino, and then when you hear the strongness of that African accent, it'll throw you. You're like, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready. What happened? You had already had a preconceived notion about what you thought they were and what you were expecting before they opened their mouth. And Yahweh has a tendency to use the things that you either have a problem with to bring salvation. So, be careful. That's all that we're going to do for tonight. Priest, would you lead us out in prayer, please?
Yes, sir. Let's rise and face the east. Abba, Father Yah, the El of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, most high covenant Elohim of Israel, merciful Father Yahweh, I pray that you will continue to give us understanding of your law, statutes, and judgments, O Heavenly Father, and your commandments. Give us a willing heart unto these things, O Heavenly Father, and allow us to continue to stand on those things, O Heavenly Father. I pray, O Heavenly Father, that you strengthen us on this narrow path that leads to salvation, O Heavenly Father, and let us not get caught off with genealogy, Almighty Yahweh. You said that these things would gender strife, Almighty Yahweh. I pray, O Heavenly Father, that you'll continue to keep a hedge of protection around this, your little sanctuary, O Heavenly Father, and around our individual homes. And I pray that you'll grant us safe travels as we leave from here, O Heavenly Father, and allow us to make it back here safely again, O Heavenly Father, for the Shabbat, your new moons, and your holy days, Almighty Yahweh. I pray that you'll forgive our sins and the trespasses of our forefathers as well, Almighty Yahweh. In Yahshua's holy divine name, I humbly come to you and pray and ask these things of you. Amen and hallelujah.
Amen and hallelujah.